Big thanks for joining me on TMI from the Network Center. We hit the ground running quickly with what we've got to do as regards the return of petrol scarcity. A whole lot has been said in that regard, and we see filling stations where there are unabated queues, and this again is attracting huge amount of money as regards the hike in price of petrol. And we know what that is when it transforms to the negative impact it's having on the economy, the hardship basically is still really biting hard on Nigerians. So discussing this with me on how to tackle this headlong as regards the fear scarcity is the former chairman of ASU, Uniben branch. He is also a chemist, and he is Professor Julius Iyasele. Thanks for joining me, Julius.
Mr. Philip, thank you this morning for having me. Good morning, viewers.
Professor Julius Iyasele was former HOD
Head
chemistry department. And also joining me, which will be via Zoom, is the IPMAN chairman, Edo State chapter, and he is Mr. Douglas Iyeke. Good morning, Douglas.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Philip. Thank you for having me.
All right, thank you for still standing by. Also, we have an economist from Ekwoma, Dr. Jude Obasomi. Good morning, Jude.
Good morning, Philip, and good morning, my comrades.
All right.
It's good being part of this presentation.
Okay. Quickly, let's start with you, Douglas Iyeke. As the IPMAN chairman of Edo State chapter, I agree that we had a conversation some weeks back as regards this aspect of the unabated queues we have in the filling stations, and of course, the role of your association in mitigating the gap or ameliorating the plight of the citizenry. Now, we have issues surrounding the Dangote refinery, and at the time we heard about the NNPC being only the off-taker, you know, to lift product from the NNPC, from the Dangote refinery. But that seems to have changed. So what can you say the frustrations you are having are directly getting supplies from the Dangote refinery?
Thank you very much, Mr. Philip. Yeah, well, it's the truth is not far-fetched. The frustration we have in direct off-taker from the Dangote refinery, and which will not be too good for the citizens of this country and good for us in general. Because as IPMAN, we have over 40,000 outlets here in this country, and we want to be buying directly from Dangote instead of us getting it from NNPC. Because even as we speak, the normal product we normally get from NNPC, before this time around, we normally get our allocation every month, which is BMS. We have like, then it was 30,000 liters. We have like 90,000 liters of BMS each marketer, and the same thing with diesel, and the same thing with kerosene. For a number of years now, we've not been having that. So if IPMAN is not getting this product directly from Dangote, it will be an issue in the sense that we will now be passing through NNPC to get this product. And even this one, we are passing through this NNPC to get this product right now at this moment. We are not able to get the product because there is no product availability. So it will be a setback to this country if IPMAN is not a direct off-taker with Dangote. So as we speak, as of last month, we are aware that from the information you know that 30 million barrels has been given to supply to Dangote. At this month, 6.3 million barrels has also been supplied to Dangote, and we're also hearing that in October they will be giving 11.3. So we want a situation whereby IPMAN will be a direct off-taker. At the time, Dangote said that IPMAN cannot give him the price or his company the price that they are going to sell product to us. We are not dictating price. Ours is we are in business. And I want the general public to also know that we are also, this same issue of scarcity is also affecting us in the sense that the way they find it difficult to get the product from our outlets, that is how we also find it difficult to get this product from NNPC. Because even as we speak now, the portal of NNPC is not working. You understand what I'm saying? So it stays maybe, they open it for maybe 1 week, at the end of the day, they close it, and without the portal, you cannot order product. So these were not the issues, or these were not the way the system was running before. But I believe that they said they were doing it for a purpose because they want to block some loopholes. But it would be nice for NNPC to put their house in order to make sure that there's product availability, in this country. So where we have this product, we can always take to our station and sell to the marketers. So we are also feeling the pain too as well as the end users. Thank you. Are you there?
Off-taker. If I got you rightly, Douglas, you may mention the fact that the NNPC, being the direct off-taker, seem to deny access of the independent marketers to also directly purchase this product from the Dangote refinery. But again, the leadership of the NNPCL has cleared that it's not monopolizing the environment, that even the independent marketers can also access purchases from the refinery. But I think what you could be having is the perspective on the prices. What do you have to say in that?
No, not really the perspective. For now, like I said earlier on before, that it could be that the NNPC management have said that they are not denying it man from having access or being off taker in Dangote. That is fine. It's not just by saying it, it's putting into reality. So if they have denied that, we also would be very happy to be part of Dangote being the off taker, because before now we were also hearing that we're supposed to be giving this product to depots to Dapman, where IPMA will now go and get this product, and which we did not accept from the inception. That is why you hear at the time, about some months ago, they were saying IPMA, they have a cartel that, we have a cartel that is making Dangote refinery not to operate in time to come. We don't have any cartel. So our own is that if the management has agreed with us that yes, that the NNPC has agreed with us that we can also be off-taker in fact, we should be the number one off-taker, because the retail outlets of NNPC is not going to be compared to the retail outlets of IPMA. You understand what I'm saying? So if they allow us to be off-taker, we will be happy over that. So if they have denied that, it's good and fine.
Okay, thank you. Let's get your take on this, Professor Julius Iyasele, because we seem to look at the challenges we are faced with in this regard. And the federal government has brought up a policy. How do you see this policy impacting on the generality of Nigerians? As regards the Dangote refinery and some restrictions we are having with the independent market that has not been able to access the refinery and, of course, the product.
Philip, what can I really say? When from the valley of despondence, from the valley of bewilderment, from the valley of, where can we go from here? It's really difficult to articulate anything now. You understand? But however, Shakespeare, Macbeth wrote, he said, I've been tied to a stake, I cannot fly, but bear like I will fight the cause. And so that is why I'll be able to at least put down something, say something this morning to citizens of this country. You have a government you cannot trust. You have a people, you can't trust them. That is one basic fact we have established. And this government is another government that can easily reverse themselves. I heard directly from Dangote on an interview that FEC will determine the prices of PMS coming out from his factory. And NNPC will determine distribution. So what are we saying here? The truth about it is that we are in dire straits as a country. I'm not saying that this country, the leadership of this country are really interested in the citizens of this country. People are dying. People are really, really hungry. I was putting down somewhere that as a university lecturer, this is the first time I had discovered that the major populace of students now coming to the university are in short knicker, whatever they call them. And they're not even hemmed, or some are in tracksuit. It's not because of what they want to wear. Students, they are hungry. They cannot access quality education now. They don't even, in fact, it's difficult to say something, Philip. But the truth about it is that these people need to get an understanding that if you are leading and nobody is following you, you're already simply taking the stroll. And that is what is happening now. They rather need to come up, because at the end of the day, you will find that nobody is following you, and you can't even lead yourself anywhere. In my last presentation here, I pleaded with politicians in this country to please pity the masses, pity our people, because people don't know what to do anymore. You took over government, and fuel was about maybe 500 or even less than that and all that.
About 189.
180, thereabout. Under your watch, it went to 600, and we thought, and everybody was fighting over that. And for that reason, NLC came up, and I said, whatever you pay cannot equal anymore the cost of living. You need to upgrade in terms of minimum wage and all that. The battle went on and on and on, and now said NSC, looking at the dynamics of the economy and all that, the criteria and whatever they have, and said the minimum for an average, the least worker to be able to have a kind of party living a month is 250,000 naira a month. And he said, you can't pay that. That if we are going to pay that, you abducted these people. And said, if you are going to pay that, it means you will increase fuel to 1,500 or 2,000 naira per liter. So because it has now become that fuel is our now index, for judging whatever we do in this country. Very shameful and all that. Now, NSC now say, okay, because of that, because majority of Nigerians are not in employment, many are roaming the streets, looking for what to do and all that. Only very few will benefit from the minimum wage. And I say, okay, we accept 70,000 naira so that you will keep your fuel price at the current rate. And that current rate was about 500 thereabout. What are we saying now? Fuel is now 1,003 to about 1,005 in so many places. Now, and that was what NLC said. So what kind of level of betrayal of trust is this you have from leaders of a country?
Okay.
It's a serious betrayal. Now, where are we going to go from here now? NLC, I want to ask you, where are we going to from here? Because I came through the road this morning to this station, and then there were no vehicles on the road.
Exactly.
The only vehicles you will find now are the matchbox public transport that we never use. While I was in secondary school, our parents advised we never use those vehicles for transportation in those days because it was assumed that ordinary breeze will blow the vehicles away from the road. But that is what we now use. But however,
because it has fuel economy.
Because of fuel economy now and all that, those are the only vehicles you find on the road. The last time I traveled about 45 kilometers from Benin, I bought a 50,000 naira fuel. And I was asking myself, how many 50,000 naira do I as a professor have in my salary? That is where we are. And I think whether you like it or not, the people went for bad governance protests. And you are criminalizing them with all manner, subversion and all that. Excuse me. There is an end to madness. When the mad dies, madness stops.
Now, let's get back to you, the IPMAN chairman, Edo chapter, Douglas Iyike. There are issues about the sharp practices that are really happening at the end of your association, mostly as regards the independent marketers. Now, some do sell at a very high rate that seems to be outside the purchase of the motorists. How do you check this?
Well, I would say that is laughable to an extent because when you say sharp practices, somebody who goes to the market and gets a product that is not available at an exorbitant price, And all he or she is trying to do is to be in business to make sure that he or she is able to give to the end users, or meet up to the needs of the end users, sequel to the petroleum products per se. You don't expect somebody goes to the depot when NNPC cannot provide this depot, goes to private depot, who also gets directly from NNPC, which is the dark man, and buy product, for instance, for 950 naira per liter, and it's coming to Benin, maybe probably from Ogara, to Benin, to his or her outlets, to sell at the same 950 naira. It's not possible. From there, you will see the transportation. From there, you will see some challenges on the road. You will pay some levies to other unions who are also stakeholders in the downstream sector. So at the end of the day, before the product gets to your station, you see that the amount is already over 1,000 naira. So that is why you see some people are selling at 1,100, or rather 1,002. But when those people that are selling 1,002, I think is a little bit, outrageous. But all the same, you can't really blame them, because if this product is available, NNPC, brings this product for marketers to buy at the stipulated price. They are saying they are selling now for marketers, sweet marketers in Edo, South region. Let me say between Benin and not really South, Benin and Warri at 865. Directly from NNPC. Even this 865, as we speak now, can you get the product? You can't get the product. So that is why you see people go elsewhere. Like I always say, we are business people. We go elsewhere to sell this product because we want to also sell. So it's not that we are happy that we are selling at outrageous amount. Like for us now, we are trading, maybe you are trading with about, to buy one truck of PMS now, before now, it's over 45 million naira. But now, that was as 560.3 that the S depot we were selling. But now, we are selling the S depot now price of Warri PDO Ogara. They are selling now for 865. So you can imagine the difference. We are talking about 222.3 naira, 2 naira. So times that with 45,000 liters, the amount of money that you need to go and source again elsewhere to add to your capital to buy this product. And in this country, our bank are not helping issues. So I don't really blame we marketers for, the price that we are selling. It's not our fault. I'm making. So it's where
I'll be coming back to you. I'll be coming back to you as regards importation, the channels that you can explore in that regard, and of course, Forex. But let's quickly join Dr. Jude Obasomi. Let's get your perspective. You heard what the professor said as regards the biting economic hardship. And now, what do you see about the challenges facing the policy thrust of the federal government in the petrol sector? Now, what do you see as a way out of this quagmire we are in presently?
Okay, thank you very much once again. I think before we begin to talk about solutions, very critical for us to also understand the challenge or the problems, because many times we just jump into finding palliative solutions to most of our, long-term problems, which may not help us very well. It's quite sad that this fuel scarcity has now become a persistent sore in Nigeria and our economy. That every government that comes on board, the only focus they have, nobody talks about health, nobody talks about education, nobody talks about roads, but rather it's fuel, petrol, crude oil, and what have you. It's just because there are a lot of things that they stand to benefit. It's on record that the former president was, even at the time, the Minister of Petroleum, Minister for the Ministry of Petroleum, adding it to his official job as the president of the country. And now a government came in place now that did not even change the narrative in any way, considering what they promised us prior to the election, that they're going to fill refineries, going to do this and that. Nothing has changed. So Nigerians are tired of all these scams from the federal government. Now, the problem they will have is integrity question. Nobody trusts them again. Recall prior to the into office in May last year, it says subsidy removal has come to stay. And it's on record that in 2012, even my comrade, former ASU chairman, was part of the movement that we engaged President Goodluck Jonathan then saying that petrol subsidy was a scam. And these same people in government now were part of the process and said, no, it was a scam, nothing like payment of subsidy.
Let's come to the issues actually and how we can ameliorate or mitigate the gap that we're faced with. At one point, the federal government is trying to find a way, to tackle the issue, but it seems it's not really getting, respite for the citizens, because at the end, the citizens are the ones that are really, having these challenges, because they have to queue every day to get a product. Even the money to even buy the product is quite a challenging one. Now, what do you see as what the federal government can do to mitigate the gap? Are you suggesting back to subsidy regime?
Have they removed subsidy? Leave all those stories. The truth about it is that is federal government interested in the citizens of this country? That is why at a point it appears they were looking for an item on how to improve the living standard of citizens of this country. And I said, you remove fuel subsidy, that is by simple statement, at your takeover, everything went haywire. So the thing to do again is to reverse yourself, like you have done in some other sectors. Why we were even discussing that? You have gone to increase electricity by 250% and all that. And you have not increased, the salaries that are paid, or increase other ways of generating income, the citizens generating income. And so what are we talking about? Is such a man or is such a government interested in the citizens of this country? I don't think so. We see there's a high level of insincerity here. Maybe it's either it's spiritual or they don't understand what people are going through. This good occasion to let these people know that people are really is biting very, very hard. I'm telling you, the situation is gory for a number of persons. If the major, the simplest of foodstuff we used to have is no more available to citizens of this country. If Gari is no more available to citizens of this country, you cannot imagine what are people going to revert back to. They should eat sand, and people are dying like fowl or chicken in this country. So it's so easy. If you want to reverse yourself over this fuel increase, look at this money. Dollar is 1,630 naira to a dollar. Can you imagine that? So where are we? Where are we going to? And then as an economist, you are accelerating and then stepping on the brake pedal in terms of an economy. You equate parallel market to the normal market for a naira. And what were you thinking? And so things have not gone haywire. It's so simple, my brother. I've never seen it. When you see things are growing worse, if this government was interested in the people, they would have said, oh, dear citizens, we're having problem in management and controlling this situation. Look at, and let's refer back. And then draw a idea from what happened in the past. When things became very, very bad for citizens at a point under the first regime of General Obasanjo, he came up with OFN and all that. Another government further down came up with structural adjustment program. Have we heard anything? Have we heard this government talking to the people? You need to return back to what we used to call in Port Harcourt, a school to land. Have you heard government advise citizens on how to bail themselves out of the quagmire?
Well, we'll see to that. We'll see how we can tackle that head-on. But let's quickly take your conclusions, Mr. Douglas Ejike, as regards the channels to explore. We look at the aspect of importation, for instance, which your union is not restricted from. Why are you not utilizing that optimally?
Anyway, correction to that, we are not union, not a union, we are an association. And to that which you said, we have not gotten that green light to import petroleum product as the case may be at the moment. So if we get that before now, we use administration. So, but for now, as we speak, to the best of my knowledge, they've not given us that green light for IPMAN to import petroleum products outside the country to this country. So that is all I have to say concerning that. And that importation is only solely by NNPC. So the only alternative they're also looking at is this Dangote refinery. So for we IPMAN, our own is that if they allow us to also import, it will be better. It will reduce this issue of there will be low in price as well too, because there will be competition in price. Because if this market A brings his product and is selling at the rate of 8, maybe 900, and marketer B brings his selling at the rate of maybe 910. You see, the one of 910 will not be able to sell more than to compare to the one selling at 900. So there will be competition. So I think it's a really good thing for the federal government. Although President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, from the way I'm looking at things, I know that he'll be able to put this issue of petroleum product, or rather in terms of to rest, because I feel is making an arrangement. If this NNPC in terms of the refineries are put in place, we will not be having issues concerning this product. It to work. And again, I want us to also try to take our mind away from issue of petrol per se, because we are so concerned about petroleum. We should also look at the area of CNG. Some cars are already using CNG in these states, and it is working. To convert CNG or for vehicle to CNG, the kit is just $100. So both the tanks and every other thing, the cylinder, is $100, to convert your vehicle from PMS to CNG. So I think Nigerians should also be looking towards that angle, which I know the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is also making an arrangement on that with IPMAN. So I think that is my take on that.
Douglas Iyike, for taking an attentive part of this discussion. I think you may be taking a reaction on that.
No, let me tell you, we can't. The truth about it, NNPC cannot be acting as the Market Women Association we have in Benin here. Somebody will go to the north to go and bring tomatoes and all that, or cow, and where they bring it to a simple saloon market here. The women say you cannot sell. That is what NNPC is acting as here. Otherwise, has Dangote said he cannot produce enough PMS for this country? Of what we know about Dangote installation and all of that. Has he said, I cannot satisfy, the demand of PMS for Nigeria? It is simple. NNPC wants to monopolize the market, and they want to continue with the charade of dehumanization of Nigerians. That is the basic truth here. It is not, it's insincerity. That is the matter. It is not we convert car today, you convert to PMS, tomorrow you convert to CNG and all that. That is not the issue.
You don't see that as the way out?
No way, because what is the price of 1 kg of gas now? Has it not increased? You've not heard what it will cost now for you to fill a 12 kg gas bottle.
So your impression is that if everybody now gets to that level, it will increase?
In fact, the idea here, the denominator here is selfishness and wickedness. That is the bottom line for leadership of this country.
All right, thank you. Thank you. We'll continue to interrogate it and see how we can reach a conclusion as regards bringing respite to the citizenry.